So let's talk a little bit about what people believed about the afterlife during the time of Jesus. The Greco-Roman view of the afterlife was nothing like the glorified body of the risen Christ in the Gospels. Uh, the Greco-Roman rule was understanding was that you would go like to some place like Hades under the earth, Tartarus, which was not a nice place, or the Isle of the Blessed, but it's all just going someplace else. There's none of this coming back to the earth in the popular understanding of the afterlife in the Greco-Roman tradition. Jewish belief in the afterlife were varied at this time. The Sadducees, they didn't believe in the resurrection. They thought you died and that's it. And in the more ancient Jewish writings in the Bible, we do see this. After people die, they go to a place called Sheol, which is just existence in some kind of vague holding pattern. There's not really any individual consciousness or anything. You just kind of cease to exist. So there's really no afterlife or resurrection for the Sadducees, who base their beliefs on the oldest Jewish beliefs that we find in scriptures. The Jewish philosopher Philo, who was influenced by Greek culture, believed that there was a soul without a body, so that the soul resurrected and the body just decomposed, similar to probably what many people believe today. In Second Maccabees, and we do see the idea of a bodily resurrection taking place. The Pharisees also seem to believe in this during the time of Jesus. Again, what was this body like? It wasn't necessarily the same body. People, didn't have specific description of it. It could be interpreted in different ways, but they did believe in a resurrection of some sorts. When was this supposed to happen, though? This would take place for everybody who gets resurrected. It wasn't necessarily everybody, but it would happen on the last day, the eschatological day of judgment, right? So everyone would kind of would die, and maybe their spirits were resurrected at that time, but you wouldn't have a bodily resurrection until the end of time, the last day. Then everybody's bodies would be resurrected in some form, and you would go to be with God. If you were resurrected and you were judged to be appropriate for that end, without getting too specific about it. And there's a lot of different cultural ideas from different cultures, like Zoroastrianism and the Persian culture, and other ancient Near Eastern cultures that play into this idea that was held by the Pharisees and a lot of the Jews during the time of Jesus. However, all these ideas are not the same. All these popular ideas of the time are different from what the early Christians believed about the resurrection of Jesus. Okay, first of all, it's different from the typical Jewish belief because Jesus was not waiting for the last day to be resurrected. They thought he had resurrected on the third day, right? Which is a kind of colloquialism for like not long in the Jewish terms of speech. So it wasn't this one. It wasn't they were saying, oh yeah, everybody's going to get resurrected on the last day. We'll all be raised up on the day of judgment, right? Which is still a popular belief, still the belief in Christianity today, mainstream Christianity today, and Islam today. That's not it. It's something different. He is risen from the dead with his glorified body, now. They're saying it's not a way. So it's something different again, something different from the typical beliefs. Um, Also, the resurrected body, notice, was a transformed body. And this is something that also seems kind of unique, right? Again, the body wasn't exactly the same. Jesus' body wasn't the same as before, but but it wasn't completely different, right? So it's not exactly the same. They recognize it kind of when their eyes are open, but not at first. It suddenly appears and disappears. St. Paul calls it a spiritual body. So it's kind of more spiritual in nature than physical. However, it does have physical manifestations. It can be touched and it eats. This is unique. You don't see this in the beliefs of the time. You didn't see it with the Jewish tradition or the Greek tradition.